Live from the AOK, the livest ones, representing the BX to the fullest. Welcome to episode 12, ladies and gentlemen. Ready to start it off? I am one part of your co-host, Hugo the Boss. Hugo got next. Hugo got Monroe on his chest today with my co-host.
What it do, baby? Is Ray Boogie Ray. You already know what it is. Episode 12, we live, BX. I don't know what we're doing. We're doing it.
But before any of that hoopla, be sure to follow us on all platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Anybody watching on YouTube right now, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay up to date.
And for all the audio listeners, Apple, Google, Spotify. We got you on all platforms. We got you covered. Get us covered. Subscribe, follow, like, comment. It helps us out a lot.
That's right. Hit them likes, boy. I seen them likes is lacking. I don't like that. Step it up. I want to see more likes. And then when there's more likes, I want to see more likes. Feel me? Step it up. I'm disappointed in y'all. Nah, I love y'all.
But before we jump into any fight business this weekend, we got to recap last week's bets. Rough night in the office for my brother here. Good night for me, but, you know, for me, I like to see all my homies succeed, you know? So I guess we'll start it off with yours.
Yeah, sure.
We'll start it off with mine. Which one?
Let's just get it out of the way, man. Just take me behind the shed and put me out of my misery. Let's just do it.
All right. So started off, my brother put a bet on Horf money line. That one hit. He had a unit bet on Simón straight money line. That one lost. Half a unit on Edgar inside the distance. That one fell apart. And a half a unit parlay on Budai Kali over a round and a half, and a Costa de Lima or under 2.5 rounds. Yeah, rough night in the office, man.
I try to keep it short and simple, and your boy got slaughtered. It was rough.
And me, I actually had a good night, but that's because I went back on my word on my big fat picks from last week.
Don't ever believe this man ever again.
The low-level heavyweight fights, I actually went on them because after I really thought about it. This is why it's important to follow us on social media, guys, because like there's a lot of things that lead up to fight night that we, you know, essentially sway our decisions. Like Budai looked fantastic on the scales, and I said, okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna pick him, and I think he's gonna win the fight. And I think, you know, to your point that you made last week about Collier, not a big puncher. I like that fight to go over a round and a half. But
yeah, that was the only part of my parlay that hit because the other part.
Yeah, I had Budai for a unit, straight the Lima for money line unit. I had Quinlan and Edgar inside the distance, Quinlan money line. I missed on both of those.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I had Simón and Song over 2.5 rounds. Hit on that. I had two parlays. Half a unit on Barrio, Simón and Song, and Budai Kalia over a round and a half. Hit on that. And I had another half a unit parlay on Simón Song over a round and a half. Johnson Durden over a round and a half. And Budai Kalia once again over a round and a half. And I hit on both of those. So I had a good weekend. Yeah, but you know, but on to the next one. You know, time to make some more money.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Let's move on. What are we going to talk about first?
You know what? Let's just get the Cinco de Mayo boxing out the way.
Yeah. We have Canelo Alvarez fighting who the hell cares this weekend.
No. Let's put a little respect on. Put a little respect on. What's his? Oh Jesus. The disrespect.
The disrespect.
I think his name is John Ryder.
John Ryder.
No. He's solid. He's the mandatory. I think his last fight was against Daniel Jacobs.
Yeah. And
I mean, in my opinion, I think Daniel Jacobs beat him, but you know, the first 6 rounds, I think he kind of just put it to him. Yeah. And then, you know, Ryder kind of came alive after that, but close split decision went Ryder's way.
Well, listen, we thought Gabe Rosado beat Daniel Jacobs, and Daniel Jacobs got gifted that one, you know. So
that's true.
You know, one hand washes the other, both wash the face, you know? So, but yeah, how do you feel about this fight?
Well, I mean, Canelo. This is going to be, I think Canelo's first fight in Mexico since like 2011. Because it's happening in Mexico.
I think you're right.
They're doing Cinco de Mayo up right. You feel me?
Yeah, even if he gets outboxed, I think he wins the decision.
Yeah, I mean,
which is terrible, but
if you want my opinion, I don't think it's going to get to decision.
You think he stops him?
Yeah, I feel like he's going to try to stop him here. And I think, gut feeling, I think he's going to be like in the middle rounds. It's going to be like in that 5 to 8 range. I haven't looked at any kind of numbers, but that's just gut feeling. Ryder, I don't know. I mean,
nothing special.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he's been in there with some dudes. I think he's been in there with Caleb Smith and some other. I can't remember the. Yeah. He's the mandatory.
It's a problem with boxing, bro.
And
it's so terrible.
I think he's gonna get pieced up. I think if he looks like anything he looked like in the Daniel Jacobs fight, even though Canelo's a slow starter, I think Canelo's gonna get him out early. I think Canelo needs to get him out early, like just as a statement kind of thing,
Especially if he wants that Bivol fight again.
Yeah, because he's coming off a hand surgery, right, or wrist surgery. What it was? That's
something
what it was?
like that.
And he beat Canelo. I mean, not Canelo. He beat Triple G with
should have stopped him.
Busted wrist.
Should have stopped him.
But now this is like healthy Canelo, still in his prime Canelo, even though he's got like 50 fights, right? Over 50 fights or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think this is gonna be something that I think Canelo needs to come out and kind of like put his stamp on. That's just gut feeling. So, I mean, would I be surprised if we went to decision? Nah, not really. But I got a feeling there's gonna be a vintage Canelo TKO KO. Gonna work that body.
Yeah.
Shake that body. Rack that body. Put him out. Middle rounds. That's my gut feeling, but I don't know.
Yeah, middle rounds and obviously late are live here.
Yeah.
Those are the only bets to make. They have like Canelo in some spots juiced to like -370 for the knockout. He's minus 1,800 straight. That's it,
I'm surprised he's not bigger.
Yeah.
Straight, like,
Thing is, I think people just have questions because after the Triple G fight, people think he lost a step. I don't think he lost a step. I still think he's in the prime of his career.
I mean, if we were to believe what he said, I mean, he fought him injured and,
And he did get surgery.
Yeah.
So it's not like, it's not like he was capping. I don't think he was capping at all.
I don't think so. Still pound for pound to GOAT right now.
I think so.
So
yeah. And I know they try to make this argument for like Tank and.
I think Tank can get there.
Yeah, it's him and Tyson Fury, in my opinion, pound for pound, because they've beaten guys, they've beaten legit guys,
Yeah, I agree.
Even Usyk's in that discussion, but at heavyweight they're fighting each other. They try to make this argument for Earl Spence Jr., but he don't even want to fight Terrence Crawford. And it's like
that fight's never gonna happen, bro.
I know it's crazy.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, and it's great. And this is why I told you guys last time when with Tank and Ryan fighting. Like, you have to salute them, man, because they didn't have to fight each other, and they're both under 30. Ryan's not even 25 years old yet.
That's kind of nuts.
And that's why when people I seen people online clowning him like that he quit in there. Dude, if you've ever been hit to the body, dude, like by someone that knows how to hit to the body, it's a different thing. Like, your body just shuts off. You can't move. Yeah, he popped right back up, but dude, the word was that he, from the mole in his camp, that he actually had, damage to his ribs. So
yeah.
I'm not trying to fault, but all I'm saying is he didn't have to take that fight.
No, and he'll bounce back.
He'll bounce back. We'll see those two fight 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
there's a good chance.
At least one more time.
At least one more time for sure, right? Yeah. So, meanwhile, Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford are going to fight each other once, and that's going to be it. They're not going to fight each other again after that.
Yeah,
it's bad looking boxing. But anyway,
who knows? Unless there's some kind of crazy rematch clause in there or something.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, regardless, back to the point, Canelo, we both agree Canelo by knockout. When 5 through 8, 7 through 12, I'm kind of going back and forth between that, but I think he could probably stop him in the middle round as well. I agree with you.
Yeah, that's just gut feeling. I mean, I haven't really sat down and thought about it. I just know the fight's happening, this Saturday. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, we have UFC 288. headlined by Aljamain Sterling and the returning Henry Cejudo. I'm excited. I think this card is kind of loaded.
Great card.
Top to bottom, solid fights.
Great card.
A lot of fights fell out.
Yep.
A lot of fights got changed around.
There's low level and high level MMA in here, but all the fights are fun.
Yes.
It's hilarious, right?
I agree with that.
It's great. It's a great card. Like, you're not going to be bored on this card. So.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Some money to be made too. But we gonna talk about it.
I think there's from a betting perspective, I think there's a lot of there's some dogs here.
Yep.
This card might have some barking.
A lot of barking.
I haven't committed to anything yet, but just, I mean, we'll see. No,
I feel like we've committed.
This podcast likes to, I like to, talk it through here. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my my little vent corner. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
But anyway,
let's go to this first fight.
All right, first fight. Starting from the bottom, Daniel Santos, Johnny Munoz Jr. Bantamweight fight, 135. We got Daniel Santos, the Willy Cat, 10-2, won his last fight, fighting out of São Paulo, Brazil, 28 years old, going head to head with Johnny Munoz Jr., Kid, I don't know how to say his nickname, Cavino?
Kid Capri.
The Kid. I don't know what that last part says. 12-2. Also won his last fight. Fighting out of California, 30 years old. Apologize. This is a pretty good stylistic matchup, I think. We got Willy Cat Santos, who kind of, I've heard people say he's like a Oliveira clone. I think he's got a slightly better chin, slightly better hands. Don't know what his jiu-jitsu looks like, but I know it's there. He prefers to stand and bang. And he puts a lot of pressure. He's a big pressure fighter.
Big puncher.
And we got Johnny Munoz here, he's not a prolific striker. He's got a very good jab, but kind of uses the striking to set up the grappling. The grappling is where he wants this fight to be. The grappling is his jiu-jitsu is, it's top tier. The way I see this fight playing out, I think, I guess maybe not playing out. My lean, Santos.
Yes.
I think Santos is, again, when it comes to standing, he's got the quicker hands. He throws in combo. I think he's just a better striker overall. And his pressure, I think, is what's going to make Munoz uncomfortable. Probably force some shots. And I think Santos is more than capable of hanging on the ground with him because of the jiu-jitsu. But
yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, same thing. And, to add on to that point, man, if you're coming out of that Shooto Box Charles Oliveira camp, you gotta be a killer on the floor, man, because his jiu-jitsu is wicked. If you're training with him, the looks you're getting relative to normal MMA fighters, like, low level or like mid level, or guys that just don't have, like, they don't have an emphasis on the jiu-jitsu game, he's gonna be able to hang with him on the floor. I like Santos here. I possibly like Santos by stoppage as well, just because of his power on the feet. He's the lean. I don't know how I'm gonna bet this fight yet. Some of the lines haven't even dropped, guys, yet, so we apologize. Once we get like a read on the lines, like if we get like Santos by knockout plus money, I think that's a good way to go.
Yeah, even
Santos by just stoppage. It's
inside the distance.
If it's plus money,
yeah.
I like him at minus 190 here though. I might just pick him straight. Minus 200 is definitely the threshold for me.
Yeah, I mean minus 190. It's a little steep, but I don't blame you for the money line. That's not bad. Yeah, 200. Like I don't know how significant of an edge he's gonna have on the ground.
On the feet, he will though.
On the feet, he will.
Yeah.
I am worried about his chin because he can't get touched up, just like Charles. But
Yeah. No bet. I think he's the lean. I don't know if I'm gonna bet it. I think you agree.
Official pick for the podcast, Santos, but no bet at the moment.
No bet. Yeah. But we can move on to the next one.
On to the next one. We have Joseph Holmes, the ugly man, going 1-on-1 with Claudio Ribeiro. Ugly man, 8-3, lost his last fight, fighting out of Texas. Used to be in James Krause's camp. 27 years old, going 1-on-1 with
The great one.
I mean, he's got hands like the great one. Pause. I don't even know that was a pause. I just want to throw that out. Ayo.
Yo, yeah.
Got to get that obligatory ayo for the people. I did it for the people. Claudio lost his last fight, but he's 10-3, fighting out of São Paulo, Brazil, 30 years old. This fight, I don't know the odds. My brother will probably just check them right now.
Plus 145 Holmes. Claudio Ribeiro is minus 170.
I kind of like the dog here.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm going to bet it, but I think, Claudio's whole game is coming at you with his boxing, because he's got good boxing, he's got good Muay Thai. He's got jiu-jitsu, but you really haven't seen it. I mean, a lot of his fights ended the first round. I think one ended in the second, one ended in the fifth, but all of them ended in KO. I'm not in the business of betting Joseph Holmes because I don't think he's that good. But I think if he wrestles this dude, I think he could win.
Yeah.
But I'm worried because he can get clipped and ugly man gonna be dead man. He gonna turn into Undertaker. He gonna be sleeping. But I guess, man, I think gut feeling. I think the pick for podcast posterity.
Like that word.
Big words, feel me?
I love that word.
For podcast sake, because we got to make a pick. My lean, I think Claudio wins this fight. But if I had to bet it, I think I would bet Joseph Holmes. But I'm not sure. What about you? I don't know.
Yeah. This is a fight that I definitely have to do more tape study on. Word to God. I'm with you on the lean. Joseph Holmes is... This is a low-level fight.
It is. No, it is. It's 100% is.
Yeah, this is one of the low-level fights that's going to be fun because of the stylistic matchup. But, God, I think Claudio's the lean for a lot of the reasons you listed above. I agree with you. I don't trust Joseph Holmes with my hard-earned money.
Yeah, I don't think he's that good.
No. No.
So it's like, but I don't think Claudio is like
a world beater either.
Yeah,
he doesn't
he's got the power, and
he ain't gonna blow your beautiful hair back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah. I agree with you. This fight's probably a big pass for me. So
I don't know if it's a pass. I probably have to think. I have to think about it a little more. But
yeah.
At the moment, I think Claudio wins. But if I was gonna bet it, I think Holmes. Because he's longer, taller.
Yep.
I think he can do if he fights smart, and this is the problem. I got to rely on homeboy's IQ,
which is questionable.
Yeah.
If
he fights smart, I think he can get it out. He could get this win.
Big if. So I think this fight might be a stay away, guys. For me, I don't know. I'm not gonna confirm that yet, but yeah, it might be a big stay away because these kind of fights scare me.
Yeah,
they scare me. They scare my pockets. My money starts running deeper into my pockets. I can't find it. And there's a reason for that. So yeah, but we can move on to the next fight. Yeah.
All right, we got next fight coming up. We have in the flyweight division. This is flyweight. Am I bugging? Yeah, it is flyweight.
Zhumagulov, my boy.
Zhalgas Zhumagulov fighting Rafael Estevam. Zhumagulov, 3-fight losing streak, 14-8 overall. Fighting out of Kazakhstan. Oh my God, I was about to say something crazy. Kazakhstan, 34 years old, going 1-on-1 with the Brazilian, the 11-0 undefeated Brazilian. Fighting out of Rio de Janeiro, 26 years old, Rafael Estevam. This fight, I think automatically, overs are going to hit. Over 1.5, maybe even over 2.5. I can see this fight going to decision. Standing, I think Zhumagulov might have the better hands.
Low key, yeah.
Low key might have the better hands. I don't know if he has the power, but I think he has the better striking overall. But I think if this gets to the ground, and it probably will get to the ground, I think Estevam, he's sick. He's pretty sick on the ground. He's slick on the ground with his jiu-jitsu. He's got hands. Like, he got vicious ground and pound. My lean, I think, is gonna be Estevam. But would I be surprised if Zhumagulov won this by like split decision? Not really. I don't know if I'm gonna bet it. If I am gonna bet it, probably the overs. Yeah, I think that's what I'm feeling at the moment, but I'm not too sure at the moment. What about you, my brother?
Yeah, I lean with you on Estevam. The dimensions here are interesting. Zhumagulov is 5'4" with a 66.5-inch reach. Estevam is 5'9", if I'm correct. 5'9" or 5'8" with a 69-inch reach. So he's definitely the bigger guy in there. I agree with you. Estevam is the better grappler. I like Zhumagulov though, man. I think he's a little underrated. I think he has lost to like little hammers, and Jeff Molina, Manel Kape. Those are good fighters. They're not ranked, but they're good fighters. Charles Johnson's a good fighter. And by the way, he lost to Molina and Charles Johnson via split decision, which means one judge thought he won the fight.
Yeah, I mean, the Jeff Molina one, I think he legitimately lost.
Yeah.
The Charles Johnson one, I think was closer.
Was close, man. It was close.
I think I still kind of lean Charles Johnson there.
Yeah.
Personally, but I don't know.
I think you were betting on him that night, though, too.
I mean, I might have been. I don't know. I might have made a little cheese on that little bread, a little come up. I'm saying, but I don't know. Like I said, Zhumagulov's he's got underrated striking. He looked pretty good in there against Molina. Well, maybe less against Molina, but more against Charles Johnson. Like, he was willing to trade with Charles Johnson. He actually, like, in the first round, if I remember correctly, like, kind of touched up Charles Johnson a bit too. Like, Charles was like, all right, put a little respect on his hands. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
But I mean, I don't know, man. Estevam, he's got some pop, and I think if it gets to the ground, because there's gonna be a lot of grappling back and forth.
He's the better fighter.
I think he's the better guy on the ground.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, too, here's the other thing, too, guys. Why this fight? If he had already had a fight in the UFC, I'd probably feel a little better like picking him. But this is his first real fight on the UFC stage after the Contender Series. I've always had like a thing of just like picking against debuting fighters, because it's like the UFC jitters are real, and we've seen people fold under those lights. Even like veteran fighters from other promotions like Will Brooks never could get it together in the UFC, because the UFC is just a different animal. I like Estevam. I agree. I think he can kind of hang with Zhumagulov on the feet, but I know he's better than him on the floor.
He could definitely hang with him on the ground.
Yeah.
But like, I think they're both like kind of tough outs. That's why I kind of like, I can see this
over on him. Yeah, Zhumagulov is super durable. Yeah, he's super durable.
I mean, who knows? Maybe Zhumagulov comes and tries to make a statement because he's just tired of these,
split decisions.
These damn split decisions, like not going his way. And then he kind of like announced that he was retiring too. He probably just did that out of frustration.
But yeah. No, I like Estevam here, and he's the lead. I don't know if we're gonna bet him. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna bet him.
I agree.
Yeah, but I think Estevam is the guy, unfortunately, because I like Zuma. So, but yeah, we can move on to the next fight.
All right, next fight we got here, fourth fight on the prelims. We have a debuting Ikram Aliskerov. Damn, I nailed that name, boy. Going one-on-one with Phil Hawes. Phil, no high pause. 12-4. Lost his last fight. Homebody, fighting out of Little Ferry, Jersey, 34 years old. Fighting Ikram Aliskerov. 13-1. He's on and I'll tell you right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fight winning streak. Fighting out of Russia, 30 years old. Man, this fight's interesting because I like Phil Hawes a lot. And he's probably the favorite here.
No, he's the dog.
Is he the dog?
Plus 165.
Wow. That might change some things up for me.
He's live. He's live as hell.
There's only 2 questions I have with Phil Hawes. Well, and I guess maybe 1 question and 1 worry. My worry is his chin.
His gas tank too.
And his gas. Yeah, I guess you could couple that, right? I know he gasses late, and I know his chin's a little sus. My question is, how's his takedown defense? Because nobody's ever shot on this guy except for like Chris Daukaus. And Chris Daukaus ain't no prolific kind of wrestler.
Oh, Kyle Daukaus.
Yes, Kyle Daukaus.
That's all good. Yeah, they're brothers. Their brothers are right.
Their brothers are right. Yeah. So, and we got a Aliskerov here. You know, your typical Dagestani Russian. He's got sick ground and pound, sick takedown defense, because his only loss is to Chimaev.
Yeah. And the word is, ladies and gentlemen, that this guy was so hyped that they fed him Chimaev to get a win.
That's insane.
Chimaev actually kind of stole his shine, beat him, and they just underestimated Chimaev, or they just that Russian promotion didn't like.
I don't know if they
underestimated him correctly.
I don't know if they underestimated him. Maybe they underestimated his power, because like if you watch the fight, like he stuffed all of his takedown attempts.
Yeah.
Like, and pretty impressively too. I was like, wow, okay. You know, he had like an over under, and he was just Chimaev was just trying to toss him left and right, and he just could not get that man down. Yeah. But then he
uppercut from half. I'm correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Just cleaned him out with an uppercut, and
clean uppercut too.
Yeah.
Like he didn't see the punch. Yeah. Like he slipped, dipped right, and just threw it under his straight.
And slept him.
Under his jab or his straight, and just put him back.
My man was looking at the lights.
Yeah.
He was like, damn, these decorations are beautiful.
Yeah.
They ain't for me though.
He woke up in Satan's basement.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Or Heaven's attic.
Heaven's attic. He woke up somewhere.
Yeah, but he got slept. Yeah, so like, okay, so striking wise, you got to give it to Phil Hawes.
Power.
You got to give it to Phil Hawes. I don't think Ikram's striking is that impressive. I think it's serviceable, but I don't think it's that impressive. So, but the grappling is going to be interesting, because if Phil Hawes, I mean, he's D1, so I'm assuming he's got solid takedown D.
Dude, his wrestling's really good.
Yeah.
His wrestling's really good, and he's super athletic. Like, so he could be live, especially in the first round. He could be very live. Like, this might be a decent live bet spot. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm cutting you off. Go ahead.
No. I was gonna say yeah and no, because if you think Phil Hawes is side, I think you just gotta bet him now, because I mean it's gonna be hard to get in.
Yeah, you're right.
When he's flatlining homeboy.
But if you want to lean Ikram, I think you wait till like midway to the first round and then put money on him. Yeah, because it just depends on when Phil Hawes shows up. Like, that's the other issue with him too. Like, sometimes he doesn't make the best decisions in the octagon, and that's what kind of gets him into trouble. But as a talent, man, he's top tier. He is a very gifted human being.
Yeah,
and you know, he's good. He's really good.
I think this is one of those fights where you'll kind of know more or less how it's gonna go.
First 2 minutes.
After, maybe not the first 2 minutes, but on the first real attempt. The first real, because that's the only big question I got about Phil Hawes. Can he defend the takedown?
He definitely can.
And he's going to be fighting a dude who, you know, can deliver some takedowns.
And spam him.
So, once you see that first exchange, maybe even the second exchange, whether it's a stuff or he drags him down, then it's kind of like, okay, now I know more or less where this fight's gonna go. Because I was gonna say maybe you can lie bet it, but then, I mean, again, if you're on the Phil Hawes side, he's gonna end him out. He's gonna end him early, or he's gonna gas late. And then if he's gassing late, you kind of don't want to be on the Phil Hawes side.
No,
because I give it to Ikram. He's got cardio.
Yeah,
he can go 3 rounds. He can go 5 rounds. So,
yeah, this is it's a great fight.
Yeah,
it's a great fight. I like. It's very hard to pick. That's why the fight is so good. I want to pick Ikram because I just know that he's gonna be the better minute winner throughout the fight. But Phil Hawes in the first round in particular, first round and a half, you're gonna tell me he's not dangerous? Like,
yeah,
he can knock him out. Like, he can knock him out for sure. And I think he can deal with the wrestling a lot better than, at least for the first round, he'll be able to deal with the wrestling. That's why it's such a good fight. I think my lean is Ikram, but I don't know how I'm gonna bet it yet.
I think my lean is Hawes, but I think not with too much confidence.
Yeah,
not with too much confidence, because I wouldn't be surprised if
Ikram buried him.
Yeah,
with pressure. But yeah, Phil's live. Like, there's no question.
100%.
Like, I might bet him. I might bet him on principle, especially if that line starts swelling up, because he's a +1. If he gets to +200, I gotta put money.
On principle.
On principle.
Yeah.
Right now it's -195 +165, and sounds about right.
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
Yeah,
that sounds about right. But yeah, that's all I got for this one. I think we can move on for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right. So next fight we got here on the prelims, the lone heavyweight fight. And it's, the big, broad, bumpy, beefy men bumping meat, rubbing stomachs, and getting all sloppy.
But you got to make it weird.
I don't know, man. I'm weird. We got Parker Porter here. A short turnaround, right? Going one-on-one with Braxton, the beautiful monster Smith. Parker Porter, 13-8, 2-fight losing streak, fighting out of Connecticut, 38 years old, big hefty man, going against Braxton, the beautiful monster Miller. Braxton, the beautiful monster Smith. 5-1, 5-fight win streak. I'm pretty sure all his MMA, his whole win streak was all last year too. Fighting out of Austin, Texas, 33 years old. This fight is gonna suck or be extremely amazing. Don't know.
Very low level stuff here, guys.
This is one I'm probably not gonna bet. I think the lean has to be Porter, because I think he's just better overall all around.
Cardio machine too.
Except for in one department. He don't got that one hitter quitter like Braxton does. Braxton is a wild man.
Listen, I think Peter Porker, burned me once. I'm definitely not touching him again, because after that Tapa knockout where, Tapa in the post fight said, he reach, I teach. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had money on Porter in that fight because I thought he could bury Tapa's non-wrestling ass with some
yeah,
and just bury him with pressure and cardio, and then he gets stopped like that. Braxton can definitely knock him out.
Yeah.
Like, he hits like a truck.
This is like take 2, essentially.
Yeah.
Except that Braxton, I think he's worse than Tafa.
He doesn't have the technique. He doesn't have the timing.
This is a actually more winnable fight for Parker Porter. But the problem on the Braxton side is, again, he's never been out the first round. We don't know what his cardio looks like. We don't know what he looks like out of the first round. We don't know if he's got any kind of wrestling. We don't know anything except for this guy. He could bang,
Yeah, but listen, and to note, both of these guys' Tapology pictures, man, they both look like cops. You know what I'm saying? So they do, man. So, like, I don't play with the ops. You know what I'm saying?
We don't fuck with 5-0 out here.
I love cops. All the good ones out there, keep doing your thing.
The good ones.
I'm
watching, yeah.
But but both these guys look like they are in the NYPD police department. And these Tapology pictures. But what I will say is, I think Parker is the lean.
I think he's the pick. I think he wins, but I mean,
who knows?
When it comes to a bet, I don't think I'm touching this one. To be honest.
Big kaiju heavyweight action in the UFC. I stay away from it, especially on the lower level. So yeah, this fight's definitely a pass for me. We can move on to the next one, which is a phenomenal fight.
All right, next fight we got here: Marina Rodriguez, Virna. Oh my God, I just butchered her first name. Virna. How do you say her first name? I had it in my head. Jandiroba.
Virna.
Oh my God, yeah, okay. Virna Jandiroba. I'm dumb. Anyway, Marina Rodriguez, 16-2-2, lost her last fight going against Jandiroba here. I don't know what her nickname is. Kakara. I just pronounced it. 18-3. Won her last fight. We got some Brazilian on Brazilian action here. Marina, striker. Jandiroba, grappler. I don't think this fight is too hard to break down. It's pretty much, the classic striker versus grappler. Who do you think is going to win? And in my opinion, I'm leaning Jandiroba. Low key.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back and forth. I might wake up tomorrow and feel differently about this fight.
No, 100%. 100%. This is not, I mean, I made it sound like it was easy to pick, but like I've been going back and forth with this because Marina, if like this fight stays standing,
she's gonna dog walk her.
She's gonna light her up.
She's gonna light her up.
4th of July style, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Christmas tree on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in Puerto Rican households, Christmas tree on Thanksgiving Day. We're like
all the way to Three Kings Day.
All the way to Three Kings Day, So, but I'm with you.
But if this goes to the ground, I think Jandiroba is gonna beat her up.
Execution,
she's nothing to fuck with on the ground.
Yeah, she's a beast on the floor.
Good.
She's really good on the floor. And Marina on the feet's really good. So yeah, exactly how you described it. Classic grappler versus striker. I don't know how to bet this fight. I'm gonna be quite frank with you guys because
I think this. I don't know if this finishes.
Marina has decent takedown defense too. Like it's not like abysmal, and Virna is not like a prolific wrestler. The thing is, Virna will jump guard on you. That's the factor in my opinion. She'll jump guard on you,
and she's a dog too. Like
good chin.
Yeah, she'll take a shot.
Yeah,
and she's got hands. I think she's got underrated power in her hands.
Yeah,
low key. So I think this fight's gonna be good.
My lean has to probably be Virna as of today. It might be Marina tomorrow, but I don't even know if I'm gonna touch this fight just because it's just like the main event. Like the main event's so good, I don't know how to bet it.
Yeah,
and we'll carry forward into that. But I agree with you. I think Virna's the lean. On to the next.
Yeah, on to the next.
Oh, this is probably gonna be bet number 1 of the night.
We have Khaos Williams going against Rolando Bedoya.
You absolutely suck.
Why are you trying to play the homeboy like out the gate? Hold on, let me get the stats out first. Damn, bro. Well, we got Khaos Williams here, 13-3, lost his last fight, fighting out of Detroit, Michigan, 29 years old, going against Rolando the Machine Bedoya, 14-1. It says 5-fight win streak here. It might be a little longer. Pause. Actually, it's very long. Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 fight win streak. Fighting out of Lima, Peru. And we don't know how old this guy is, which is that's pretty interesting.
From parts unknown.
Did tape on, Rolando here. And I don't understand why they paired him up with Khaos Williams here, because I don't think you're going to get the best Rolando. I think Rolando's solid. He's got a lot of good striking. He mixes up the kicks and and the punches and the elbows and the knees. But my man is very hittable.
Yeah.
And he's going against a guy who's not only got an iron chin, but an iron fist. And, come on, this fucking guy's name is Khaos, bro.
Yeah. I wonder if that's legally.
I mean, it might be.
Yeah, he's a hard dude,
His
man.
nickname is the Ox Fighter. Who fights Ox, bro?
Yeah.
What is an ox? I don't think I've ever seen an ox before.
Yeah, it's like that. He probably got a picture at home like Ben Stiller in Dodgeball where he's wrestling on the bull.
Yeah.
Grabbing the bull by the horns and shit. You know, but no, he's done jail time too, guys. Like he's a hard man. And
Pause.
he's a tough dude, man.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Bedoya offensively is pretty good, but defensively fights like a dumbass. I'm sorry.
I mean,
I'm gonna go that far.
I mean, unless the UFC's got faith in this guy's chin, where he's like, you know, I mean, it's not a good thing where it's like, hey man, you have a great chin. We're gonna throw you against Khaos to really test it. Like that's insane to me. Like especially as your first fight in the UFC. Like, damn, bro. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm assuming the UFC thinks he's like a zombie fighter, you know. Because that's the only way he's gonna really last with Khaos.
It's a fun fight. I just think that stylistically, Khaos is.
I think Khaos is the side. I'm pretty sure he's a heavy favorite.
Minus 305. I'm already looking at his knockout for minus 135, and I think that hits.
I think
he knocks him out.
You can even get even greasier. I think first round knockout if you want to get real greasy. You want that plus money knockout. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If you've never seen Khaos Williams fight, guys, he doesn't even have the best technique. He just has to touch you, though.
Yeah.
He touches you, he's gonna sleep you. Like he hits dumb hard, you know. So and
I mean, not that Bedoya doesn't. Like, you know, he's got some pop behind his strikes, but it's like
Khaos got a good chin.
It's just his his striking defense is literally he's headbutting your fist.
He walks into punches.
Yeah,
you know, like. Yeah, I'm with you. I think
no, maybe unless I'm missing something, and you know,
Khaos by execution.
Yeah, I think this is Khaos all day. Khaos first round for KO. I think, in my opinion.
I agree.
But
yeah,
I mean,
I'm done beating it.
Pretty much open and shut.
Yeah, open and shut, pretty much. We can move on to the next one.
All right, next one we got here. This is a light heavyweight fight. And we have Devin Clark, the Brown Bear, going against Kennedy, the African Savage, Nzechukwu. African Savage is a sick nickname. Brown Bear, not so much.
His nickname is Brown Bear. He has a big ass deer on his chest. I never understood that.
This man is Captain Planet, bro. I don't know. He just likes animals and shit. I don't know. I don't know. He's like his nickname is Brown Bear. He's got a deer? Like a buck on his chest?
Yeah. It's like a buck, yeah. Like I don't
He
ain't from is he from Milwaukee?
Oh, I don't know. It says he's fighting out of Albuquerque, Mexico over here.
Who knows?
33 years old, 14-7, won his last fight, going against the African Savage, 11-3, won his last two fights. A Nigerian fighting out of Dallas, Texas, 30 years old. This fight, I think Kennedy wins. I think he's the side. The problem is, man, I mean, sometimes Devin Clark just be making fights into some weird shit, and
he shows up.
He be Devin Clark in like fights. Like he's a weird guy to bet against and bet for, or to pick against or to pick for. So it's like, but I think Nzechukwu been making like improvements in his game. Devin Clark, unless he wrestles him, like takes him to the ground, I don't really see him winning because I think Nzechukwu could probably outstrike him. He's the bigger dude, right? And Nzechukwu's a big dude.
Yeah, he's 6'5".
Yeah,
which is insane, and he's big. He's big for the weight class.
And Nzechukwu does a lot of good stuff in the clinch and
knows how to play on the outside.
Devin Clark knows how, like not knows, but Devin Clark likes to play in the clinch as well, which I think just is another check on the Nzechukwu side because that's where he kind of wants to fight a little bit if he's not gonna pick and prod you from the outside. But yeah, I think this is an Nzechukwu win. I don't know how to bet it. I don't know if I'm gonna bet it, but I don't know. Maybe my brother's gonna bet it.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna bet it, and here's why. Devin Clark, 6 feet tall with a 75-inch reach. Kennedy Nzechukwu, 6'5" with a 83-inch reach. The only two people in the UFC who have a longer reach than Nzechukwu are John Jones with an 84.5-inch reach and Sergey Pavlovich with an 84-inch reach. Based on Nzechukwu's last couple of fights, he looks like he's been making a lot of better decisions, better coaching, realizing the kind of fighter he is, he also knows how to play on the outside, knows how to work really well in the clinch. And guys, I've told you this time and time again, when you are a wrestler, especially a wrestler that's shorter than the opponent you are trying to take down, it is very difficult to take the opponent down that's a lot taller than you. I think Nzechukwu had a rough start to his UFC career. I think he's finally rounding out his game. I think he's going to win this fight. He's probably going to win this fight by stoppage. And I will be betting. I got him straight. He's at minus 180. I'm going to bet him straight. Whether he stops him or not, I think I'm probably going to bet it, but that's more of the lean of how this fight's going to go. But he's a finisher, man. He's got how many fights? He's got 14 fights, and he has 8 stoppages. Yeah, 8 stoppages. And he's been technically, and out of those 14 fights, 10 of them haven't gone to decision because he's been subbed and knocked out once apiece. I think he wins this fight by stoppage. I do. I think he's been rounding out his game. He stopped Carl Robertson. He stopped Ian Cutelaba. And Devin Clark is essentially a slightly bigger than Ian Cutelaba. Probably with less technical grappling, if I'm being honest. He just got better cardio and can work for longer, which is why I understand why you're a little afraid of it, because it could carry and go longer. But if I'm being honest, I like Nzechukwu a lot here. I think he's just looked like he understands what kind of fighter he wants to be his last couple of performances. And I'm willing to bet on it.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
I
don't know if I've gotten there yet, but I'm getting there. I don't know. Maybe by the end of the week, I might put something small on him, but I'm not right now. I don't know yet. But Nzechukwu's the side. I think we both agree.
Yep.
He's gonna be the bet for you. He's my lean. Unless you got anything else to add.
My lean stoppage.
Okay.
So, I don't know yet, but for sure he's getting picked. So, but we can move on to the next fight.
All right, next fight. And currently they have this as the main event for the prelim. We have Drew Dober here and Matt Frevola, the steamroller. Drew Dober, 26-11, 3-fight win streak, fighting out of Denver, Colorado, 34 years old, going against the steamroller, Matt Frevola, bars. 10-3, 2-fight win streak, fighting out of Tampa, Florida, but I know he's a Jersey boy. And he's 32 years old. I think this fight is going to be sick for as long as it lasts. If Steamroller Frevola decides to wrestle, even though I think Drew Dober has improved his wrestling, I think there's a path to victory. I don't know how I'm saying that.
Path to victory.
There's a path to victory for Frevola.
Yeah.
But Frevola, I don't trust his. I don't trust him to do it. Frevola likes to brawl. He'll go in there with a game plan and throw the whole game plan out once he throws that first punch. So for that reason, and for the reason that nobody's ever knocked out Drew Dober, I gotta lean Drew Dober here. I think he's my pick. He might be my bet. And I think this fight doesn't go the distance. Gut feeling. Don't know how I'm gonna bet it yet. What about you, brother?
Drew Dober is definitely a lean here. Drew Dober by knockout is definitely the. I'm probably gonna bet it. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm leaning that way, and I'm most likely probably gonna make that bet. The reason being is because Frevola has come out publicly and said, listen, I usually have a game plan walking into a fight, but once that fight starts, I kind of just throw it out the window if I have to, especially if I have to bite down on my mouthpiece. Mm-hmm. And Drew's going to make him bite down his mouthpiece. Drew pressures, Drew's big. And I know Frevola can wrestle him, but Drew is no slouch on the floor. Can grapple, can wrestle, and he's built like a shithouse. Plus has a great chin. Listen, Frevola's only lost to Terrence McKinney and Armin Sarukian, I believe, on the UFC level.
I think he's fought the better comp, for sure.
For sure. He lost to Polo Reyes, but, that was like his first fight, which this is what I'm saying with debuts.
But Frevola, just to add, Frevola also, because I just finished reading right before we started the podcast, he wants to be, quote, the first person to knock out Drew Dober.
Oh, God.
So,
okay. Yeah. This is the same guy who put out a poll on Twitter if he should stand and bang or take, I think, Terrence McKinney to the floor. And the poll said stand and bang, and he chose to stand and bang with Terrence McKinney. He got finished in 7 seconds. Like,
listen, Frevola he's a good fighter. He's a little bit of a psychopath.
A little bit turns his brain off.
Yeah.
So once again, guys, and what do we talk about with guys with low fight IQ in this podcast? Fade him.
Yeah.
Fade him. I'm gonna pick Dober. I like Dober by knockout. Especially after reading that. Yeah. Good, bro. Make my life easier. Drew Dober is the bet, guys, by knockout.
Yeah.
By knockout, I think he's the bet.
Dober is my lean. Dober is probably going to be my bet. Inside the distance, KO is probably going to be where I'm leaning. But if you don't have anything else, we can move on to the next fight.
Absolutely.
All right, next fight. To kick off the main card, we got the return of Kron Gracie going against Charles Air Jourdain. Kron Gracie, 5-1, lost his last fight. It says he's living in Los Angeles. He might be training in Los Angeles, but I know he's currently living like in Montana or something. 34 years old, going against Air Jourdain. 13-6-1. Fighting out of Quebec, Canada. 27 years old. And I know Kron has been gone for, 3 years? I was reading that he pretty much was gone because of the pandemic, and he ended up relocating and he became a mountain man living in Montana. The layoff doesn't scare me.
Scares the shit out of me. I'll tell you that much.
Because I think Gracie, Kron gone Kron, and I like Kron. I think he's the side here because I think Jourdain, as entertaining of a fighter he fights like a dumbass sometimes. And I think he's going to overreach. And when you overreach, he might overteach. I just made that up on the spot. Nah, I think Kron wins. I think he's the lean. I don't know if I'm going to bet it. And I think he wins by submission because that's the only way Gracie's win, What about you, brother?
Well, listen, I'm not betting this fight, and there's a couple of reasons why.
Coward.
He's been off. He's been off for 3 years. His last fight was against Cub Swanson. Didn't show high fight IQ.
He didn't.
And listen, this guy is the son of the legendary Rickson Gracie, who a lot of the Gracies regard as the best Gracie.
Is he the son of Rickson?
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Okay.
So, maybe I'm bugging. Hold on, let me double check that. I'm pretty sure he's Rickson's kid. Let me check.
I thought he was somebody else's kid. We don't know who the father is. We need Maury here. R.I.P. Jerry Springer.
Yeah, Kron Gracie's his son.
Okay.
Yeah, so Rickson has been regarded by a lot of the Gracies as the best Gracie jiu-jitsu practitioner of the bunch of Gracies that came out of, the first diaspora of Gracie jiu-jitsu coming out.
Put you using them big words. What's a diaspora, brother?
I know what a diaspora is.
I don't know what it is. I'm using them big words.
But anyway, listen. His Kron's jiu-jitsu is wicked. I mean, like as high level as it gets.
Yes, sir.
I also think Charles Jourdain does have the capability to kind of just walk into him and allow him to get taken down and he doesn't have the best takedown defense.
He also gives up his back a lot.
A lot. But the thing is, Kron is not the most prolific takedown artist.
I agree.
And he's been off for 3 years, coming off of a fight where he showed poor fight IQ against Cub Swanson. Took 2 shots, barely shots, pulled guard on one of them, and got pieced up for 3 rounds. 5 rounds, actually, right? It might have been. Who knows?
No, I think it was a 3-round fight.
Doesn't matter. The game plan was the same. It was terrible.
I mean, I agree with you. I think that's probably the only thing that kind of scares me a little bit if he decides to fight the same way he did against Cub. But, I mean, all he needs is one, bro.
Well, he said that about.
He just needs one.
They said that about Cub too, and that wasn't off of a 3. That wasn't off of a 3-year layoff. So
yeah, but he's also fought Cub before in a jiu-jitsu grappling match kind of thing. You know, so Cub was already kind of familiar with that.
Yeah, but dude, it's just different with MMA when you're getting punched in the face. It just is. And Charles is a good striker. The only reason I think this fight, it's too scary for me to bet. If Charles had better takedown defense, I picked the over round and a half here. The thing is, he doesn't.
No, he don't.
Because Kron has a granite chin, he's very durable.
And he's got good cardio, and we know he could go 3 rounds.
Yeah, he's a beast. I would, you know what, as a dog shot, I would say Kron is the lean. I'm not betting it, but if I had to lean, I'm going to say Kron. But if Charles won this fight, I'm not surprised either. And it's just because of game planning and this and that. And the reason they got Kron listed out of California is because he was training with Nick Diaz's crew.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
the Scrap Pack.
Yeah, he trained with the Diaz.
I mean, he fought Cub the same way the Diaz brothers would. He would just walk down and take shots, try to throw punches, then complain to the ref and flip the middle finger somewhere in between. So
I don't think he did all that. But.
You know, I don't think he flipped the middle finger either. But you know, all I'm saying is this fight is too dangerous to bet on. It's a pass for me. I'm gonna be scared as shit. I'm gonna be clutching my money, like in my hands, like while this fight's going on, because it can go so many different ways, and that's exactly why I'm staying away from it.
Yeah, I think I like it a little more than my brother. I might be betting Kron here as a dog. And, you know, if you're going to bet him by, you know, what's better than the money line? Just bet him by submission because, you know.
That's the only way he's going to win.
The only way he's really going to win anyway. So, but if you got nothing else for this, then we could move right along.
Absolutely. Actually, before you go, let me just double check something. Yeah,
Okay.
Kron Gracie by submissions plus 240.
What about first round submission?
I got to double check that. But you got to do like a same game parlay, right?
I don't know what you got to do. Matter of fact, you know, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
But yeah, moving on.
All right. Moving on here, we got another fight at 145 featherweight, and it's Movzar. I'm sorry, I apologize. Movzar Evloev going one-on-one with last-minute replacement Diego Lopez. We got Evloev here, 16-0, 16 fight win streak, easy. 29 years old, going one-on-one with Diego Lopez. None of these guys have nicknames. He's 21-5, 2-fight win streak, 28 years old. So we got two young guys here. Evloev's original opponent was Bryce Mitchell. And Bryce Mitchell probably, you know, dropped a hammer on his balls or something like that or some weird shit. Because he injures himself in the most weirdest ways. Ended up pulling out. And on 5 days' notice, we have Diego Lopez here stepping up. I think Evloev is the lean. But the more I keep looking at Diego Lopez's tape, I think this fight might be just as tough as the Bryce Mitchell fight. Lopez is got a lot of submission wins, a lot of very different submission wins. He's not a one-trick pony. Decent hands, decent pop, decent fighter. But, I mean, shit. Again, 16-0. It's hard to pick against Evloev here. I mean, that's all I really got for this one, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, there's no line on this fight because it was just announced. Bryce Mitchell. I was going to pick Evloev no matter what. But this fight, I will say it's interesting, but it's a little less interesting. And the reason being is because Diego, I think, is a little too comfortable working off his back. And I think Evloev does have enough ground and pound, groundwork to like deal with whatever Diego throws up at him.
I agree with that. I mean, there was a lot of, if you look at a lot of Evilev's past fights, man, he was deep in some guillotines and some chokes, and he was able to just like not only survive but like reverse and, you know, kind of put his will on people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
and he's been taken down before too, Evloev. That's the thing. But the thing is, you guys have to look at this guy's progression. Like, he's gotten so much better, and he's built like a shithouse at this weight class. He is a tank of a man. And I just think it's going to be a little too much for Diego Lopez on short notice. I really do. I like Evloev. He's not really a finisher. He thinks he could stop this fight, but you know what? I don't think so because Diego is very crafty off the floor. I think Movzar by decision's the way to go in this fight.
I'm gonna hold off on what I think or how I think this fight's gonna play out a little bit, only because
We got to see odds first.
we got to see the odds. And I mean, we got Evelev here. He's listed as 5'7". Diego Lopez is listed as 5'11". This is the biggest opponent Evelev has fought since I got you right now because I was just looking at this. I was like, damn, he's a pretty big dude. Since Sung-Woo Choi. But Sung-Woo Choi definitely not proficient in the grappling and wrestling like Lopez is. So and Bryce Mitchell was 5'10". So Evelev was going to be the smaller dude no matter what. But it does give me a little pause. Because, big, long, lanky guys, can, wrap their big, long limbs around you and do, like, just stuff you're not really, unless you were training with big dudes, maybe not fully prepared for. But, again, I'm with my brother here. I think Evelev is the lean. He might be the pick for me personally, but I don't know yet. I haven't gotten there yet. But I think I want to wait until they drop some lines. And I probably want to wait until weigh-ins, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just to see how Diego Lopez looks like in person.
Yep.
But, yeah, I mean, you got anything else to add to this?
No, we can move on to the next fight.
All right. Next fight we got here. We're finally here. It's the featured bout. Woo! And we have a strawweight fight between Jessica Andrade and Xiaonan. Oh my God.
Yao Shinan.
Yao Shinan. And as you can hear, the dogs is barking, boy. This fight is going to be a banger. Jessica Andrade, 24-10, lost her last fight. 31 years old, fighting out of Parnara, Brazil, going against Yan. What's her first name again?
Yao Shinan.
Yan Shinan. I keep butchering. I'm just going to call her Yan.
Yeah.
16-3, won her last fight. Representing China, but fighting out of Sacramento, California, 33 years old. I like Andrade, and she's very dangerous in this division. 115 is definitely her division to like really bully these girls around. But I think if you watch Jan's last couple fights and the way she's been progressing and improving her game, I think she's super live in this fight.
I agree.
I think she's super live. The only two things I really worry about is whether, again, and this is any Jessica Andrade fight, whether they can withstand the power, because she hits like no other strawweight in that division.
Yeah.
And whether Jessica can keep her on the ground and beat her up on the ground. Because if this stays standing, I mean, you give Jessica the power edge. But, I mean, I think Jan's got the better footwork, and I think she's got the better overall
Technique.
to kind of keep her alive in this 3-round fight, by the way. So,
Yeah.
I'm probably going to bet Jan here.
I think I'm
feeling pretty solid about this one.
the dogs are barking.
What
That's
about
for
you?
sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm with you. And I'm with you because, I know Mackenzie Dern is not the she's better on the floor than Andrade. She is, Mackenzie Dern. World's better, right? But Jessica is a tank. The thing is, Jessica when she takes people down, she doesn't really hold them down too much either. And the other thing I worry about with Jessica is her fight IQ. Sometimes I feel like she doesn't make the best in-fight decisions when she approaches fighters. John does. And after the Carla Esparza beating, where she made Carla look like the second coming of GSP, with the ground and pound and stuff like that.
She got smoked.
Bad. It was a beating.
Yeah.
It was probably Carla Esparza's most impressive performance in the UFC. I'll be honest with you. But what I will say is that I think Jan, the way she followed the game plan against Mackenzie Dern, I think she can implement the same game plan here, especially against a girl with shorter reach and someone that she can keep on the outside and use her footwork against. Even Jan, like, you could argue she beat Marina Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Like, that fight was extremely close. And by the way, kind of outstrook her in ways.
Yeah.
You know, you could make an argument Jan won that fight. So I'm going to go with skills over power here. I like Jan, and I think she's going to be getting my money as well. And for the reasons listed, the reasons I just listed, I just think Jessica with the fight IQ issues and her grappling and implementing her grappling, I don't know if she's going to be able to do that. I don't even know if she's going to be able to get her hands on her. She might get her hands on Jan, but I trust Jan to at least take 2 of these rounds.
Yeah.
I really do.
And Jan has also recently been, shoring up her wrestling because she was training with the recent winner, Sonya Dong.
With Team Alpha. It's no longer Alpha Male.
No, not Alpha. No, it is Alpha. Yeah, it is.
Yep. So that and she was working over there, and she was working with the other team he's working with now.
Fight Ready?
Fight Ready.
Yeah.
So
that's Cejudo's camp.
So you're working with killers there with the wrestling in the wrestling department. And I'm sure she's got a few rounds with Henry, and Henry has taught her a few things. So I like Jan as a live dog here as well.
Yeah, I think she's live as hell.
Yeah, and she's plus 160 right now. That line's getting bigger.
Don't know how it plays out more or less, but I mean, you could just take her on the money line and just
This fight should be a pick'em.
Yeah,
it should be. So that's we're playing value here. There's no question. But yeah, I think that's all about for this fight for sure. Now we could go on to the co-main.
All right, co-main event here. We got Belal Muhammad, 5-round co-main, by the way. Number 1 contender potentially. Co-main. Belal Muhammad, remember the name, going against Gilbert Dorino Burns. This is a banger. We got Belal, remember the name, 22-3. And he is on a godlike win streak at the moment, right? What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
9, I think so.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 8. 8-fight win streak. His last loss was against Jeff Neal. 34 years old, going against Dorino Burns, who is making a quick turnaround after beating my boy, Jorge Masvidal.
Yep.
36 years old, fighting out of Boca Raton, Florida. But we already, he's Brazilian through and through. Tough fight, close fight. But there's another spot where I feel like the dogs is barking. I like Belal. I like Belal. And it's primarily because of his fight IQ.
Yeah.
Dude, he just comes in with the craziest game plans. And then if you're going to give this guy 5 rounds,
he has more room for error.
Yeah.
It's crazy. He can make mistakes and just make adjustments mid-fight. And I trust him to, and sorry to jump in, but essentially,
No.
he there's one guy we can trust to be conditioned, Belal Muhammad. There's one guy we can trust to have good fight IQ, Belal Muhammad. There's one guy we know is trying to get better, and he's working with Khabib now, and that camp for his wrestling, Belal Muhammad. And one guy who I think is a little underrated on the feet, Belal Muhammad.
Yeah, his striking, he put on a display against Sean Brady.
Oh, but that was barbecue chicken.
Yeah.
I was singing that till the horses came home. But I think Sean Brady's a little overrated.
But even before that,
best thing about him is his tattoos. I said what I said.
Even before that, when he fought Vicente Luque, he was able to stick and move him, and then when the opportunity presented itself, he was able to take him down and just hold him down and, do his little ground and pound. He just, with every fight is always a different, you always see a different side of Belal.
Right.
And with a guy who plays chess like that, not that Dorino's a smart fighter too. Dorino's a good fighter, a very good fighter. But, 2
weight cuts within a month.
Yeah.
He all he is really, no disrespect to him, I love Dorino. I think his grappling is wicked. If this fight hits the floor, it's going to be very interesting.
Yep.
Because he's a world champion grappler, but all he really is a left hook and straight. Doesn't really jab, kind of jabs sometimes, has heavy hands, but we could expect Belal to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
And if he can't get Belal to the floor, which I don't think he can right now, because I think Belal has shored up that game,
Bilal has amazing takedown defense. It's like in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
Like lower 90s, upper 80s on it.
It's pretty insane. And he's just gotten better. He's worked so hard on getting things better. And man, give this man a title shot. I really think that him and Dorino, like I love Dorino, man. But listen, let's keep it real. He didn't look great in the Masvidal fight either. Masvidal looked bad.
Look spectacular.
Yeah, he could. I thought there was positions where he could have put more hands on Masvidal to possibly get him out of there. And
I mean, but credit to Masvidal though. Masvidal's always a tough out.
Yeah, he is.
You know, he is.
He is. But what I will say is Gilbert, 36 years old, back-to-back weight cuts like this against a guy who's 34, coming off of Ramadan. But I'm gonna go with the guy who's coming off of Ramadan that's 34 years old, that in my opinion probably has better fight IQ, makes good decisions, and was probably already preparing for this fight low key.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I think he's
live.
I think he's live.
Yeah.
And I think we need to put some respect on this man's name.
Yeah.
Remember the name? Yeah, we need to remember the name because he's probably going to be getting a title shot next. He should be getting a title shot next.
I agree.
You know, and they don't want to feed. It's crazy. They don't want to feed Kamaru to him. I think he beats Kamaru too. You know, better, more interesting fight. But the thing is, with his fight IQ and his defensive grappling and his cardio,
yeah,
he can give Kamaru a lot of issues, man. I really, I like him a lot. I think he's gonna win this fight. I love Gilbert. It breaks my heart to pick against Gilbert.
I mean, and Gilbert could clean him because it's not like Bilal. I mean, Bilal's got a chin, but he ain't got a chin. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. He don't have a Masvidal chin.
Gilbert, I mean, give him, when it comes to the striking, he's got the power and he's got the accuracy, but I don't think he's the technician that Bilal is.
No.
You know, Bilal's gonna, technique wise, kind of.
He's gonna Bilal you.
He's gonna Bilal you.
But yeah, I agree. I think Bilal's probably going to be getting my money.
Yeah.
He's probably going to be
I think he's going to be another bet. He's going to be another dog bet for me, I think. I'm leaning it.
I'm leaning it too.
Missed the early line, but,
Yeah, it's all good. He's still plus money, and I think, like, this fight is so close, it's probably dogger pass anyway. So
I agree.
Yeah, I like Bilal, and, we could definitely move on to the main event here, which, I'll explain to you guys after.
Main event for the 135 Bantamweight Championship. We have Aljamain the Funk Master Sterling going against the returning Henry Cejudo, Triple C, the Messenger. I didn't even know that was his nickname.
Yeah, he just say Triple C.
You just call him Triple C. Well, he's Double C now, right?
Well, he's triple because he costs the gold medal from the Olympics.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, okay. Well, Funk Master, we got Aljamain here, 22-3, currently on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fight win streak himself. Going against Cejudo, the returning Cejudo, who is currently on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fight win streak. Funk Master, fighting out of New York, training in Long Island, 33 years old. Cejudo, fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona, 36 years old. This fight is tough. Don't know how to feel about it. I could see it going a multitude of ways. But at the end of the day, I think my gut is telling me Cejudo pulls this one out. Don't know if I'm going to bet it because I don't have the best luck betting for or against Aljamain here, but I think Cejudo, like this, again, this is another one of these fights where the layoff doesn't scare me, And, if you do consider Cejudo one of the greats, you have to look at the past greats who've come back after long layoffs. You look at John Jones, you look at GSP. No problems coming back after long layoffs and winning belts. Aljamain ain't no slouch, but I think Henry, even though he's probably going to be the shorter man with the shorter reach, right? Better striker, probably the better grappler. Well, maybe not the better grappler, better wrestler.
Wrestler for sure.
For sure. And yeah, I mean, gut feeling gut feeling, I think Cejudo wins, but I don't know if my money is gonna go anywhere near this fight at the moment. Don't know. Depends if I'm having a good day or a bad day.
They would take a shot.
If I'm having a very good day, sprinkle a little bit on Cejudo and, call it a day.
Yeah. I mirror everything you say. I like Henry a lot. I like Henry in this fight, not a lot, because there's just a lot of things that go into this fight that deter me from betting this fight. And here's why, guys. Henry's coming off a 3-year layoff. I think he's the better fighter in the wrestling department and the striking department. I think he also has more power. Probably can finish this fight. The under 4.5 might be the best for this fight, low key. It might be. But the thing is, if Aljo's the better grappler and Aljo's the much bigger guy.
Yes.
I could see Aljo backpacking him in 2 of these rounds too, especially if they engage. I could see it. I wouldn't bet on it though.
Yeah, I think Cejudo definitely knows
what's his path to victory, right?
Yeah.
But Aljo does not strike better than him. Aljo throws a lot of volume, doesn't strike better than Cejudo from a technical standpoint. But what I'm done doing is betting against Aljamain Sterling. I picked him against Peter Yan. I picked Peter Yan against him twice. Got burned twice.
Yep.
Picked TJ with one arm.
Got burned on
Got
TJ.
burned because TJ, lied to all of us.
Hit to file for bankruptcy because he was no longer the CEO of EPO.
Yes, and I'm just tired of betting against Aljo. I am. I think he needs respect, and my respect is possibly not touching this fight because I don't know how this fight's gonna go. This fight can go so many different ways, and I'm not gonna bet on a guy who's been off for 3 years. I'm sorry, it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's a very long layoff.
Yeah, listen, let me never say never. I might change my mind come fight time, but I'm gonna be honest with you.
He might change his mind, ladies and gentlemen.
I might, but
this man bet Budai.
Yeah, I
was
won.
throwing it out there.
I won, but it's because he looked like a Greek god on the scale. He looked really good.
And you know what? Thank you for bringing up the scale thing because that's another thing. I kind of want to see Cejudo on the scales, man.
And Aljo trying to make this weight cut again, which he's trying. He's trying to get out of this weight class soon. So
yeah,
that's if Aljo looks terrible, I'm betting Cejudo.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think he's gonna look terrible.
He's a professional.
He's a pro.
If Cejudo looks terrible, I'm gonna bet.
If Cejudo looks terrible, that might be a little scary thing.
Yeah,
because then you got to question. Hey, did you really are you getting up for this fight? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just a scary fight to bet on, man. It's just hard to bet, and I agree with you. I do think he's one of the best ever, because I don't think he beat DJ, but you could argue that he did beat DJ the second time. That's another conversation for another day. But I do. I don't even want to pick the over because I don't know. Like it's so crazy. Cejudo could finish him early.
Yeah, this fight.
Aljo could get his back and strangle him early.
Yeah,
just because he has ring rust, But
there's just so many questions on the
both sides. Not even more on Cejudo,
especially on the Cejudo side.
If Cejudo was active, I'm picking Cejudo.
And also, for some fucking reason, Aljo's fights always have some kind of weird shenanigans in it too.
Weird asterisks.
Yeah, some weird stuff is always happening,
Cejudo's gonna come in with 2 of his toes missing and shit. You know what I'm saying?
or
he got knocked out in camp.
Somebody's gonna throw a skateboard in the ring, and then
he's gonna trip on it.
He's gonna slip on it and bust his head open. And
I'll just gonna take his back and strangle him.
Aljo's gonna take it. He's gonna take the skateboard, throw it out, and then strangle him.
Yeah. I agree with you. Cejudo's the lean. I know you guys don't want to hear that because we don't, most people, we got to bet in the main event. But, this is just money management. We're telling you.
Yeah.
The variables in this fight are so crazy. We give you main event picks. We might change our mind come fight time. But as of right now, and
it's still a couple days away,
I don't like, again, I don't want my money near this fight. There's too many variables.
Yeah. I like to watch the shit talk, the press conference stuff. I like to watch the weigh-ins. I like to watch the face-offs, and then there's always more information always coming out last minute, he might be injured or this and that, or then there might be something here or there, or, so the way we feel now is more or less how we're going to feel later on. But at the same time, is always subject to change. That's why, following us on social media is probably the best way to kind of keep up to date because we kind of filmed this a little early.
Yep.
So, just to safeguard you guys, you know what I'm saying, this is the way we're feeling now. It's probably more than likely the way we're going to be feeling later, but again, always subject to change.
Absolutely. Yep. And that's the thing. And I think the stat is, I think 75% of the championship fights between Henry Cejudo and Aljamain Sterling have ended. They've gotten finished. That's why the under 4.5 might be live, but I just don't know, because I could see Aljo just squeaking out a decision here. I could see Cejudo
grapplers.
Yeah, I could see Cejudo scraping out a decision. When you have that many questions for a bet, guys, you probably shouldn't bet it.
Yeah,
and that's the best way to look at it. There's a lot more money that we gave you on this card, a lot more ways that we are leaning, and some of them we've already confirmed bets. But the main event, I think it's a no-go for this weekend. Just enjoy the fight because it's a great fight.
But for podcast sake, the pick is
Cejudo. Yeah.
So,
that closes it, right? Last thing, so.
Grand opening, grand closing.
Grand closing, baby. You already know. AYOK, Live ones, representing BX to the fullest. You already know.
He brought it back.
I got to bring that shit back, man. That shit was hot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mike Storch.
Oh, Jesus.
But,
I'm dead.
Love you guys, man. End of the podcast. Follow on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
And again, everybody watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay up to date.
And for all your audio listeners, including my girl Marilyn Monroe, if she was still alive, she'd probably be a big podcast listener. Spotify, Google, Apple Podcast. You already know.
Episode 12, baby.
Episode 12 in the books. Holla at your boys. Love ya. Later.
Take it easy, guys.